Welcome in along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo. Today discussing the best players at everything in college football. We won't get through absolutely everything. The full article's over at profootballfocus.com and also at ESPN.com as part of their ESPN Plus package. But we did this for the NFL, Mike. We dove deep into the PFF database and we said who were the best players in all specific situations. So let's run through a bunch of them, starting with just the best overall player on offense so far this year. For PFF grading, it's Kyler Murray right now at 96.3 overall, a quarterback from Oklahoma.
It would be a PFF record if he continues this throughout the rest of the season. Maybe put the asterisk on there because he plays in the Big 12. But what he's doing, though, is still absurd. He's throwing very closely to what we saw grade-wise Baker Mayfield last year. But he's adding the X factor of one of the best running quarterbacks in the country this season. What he can do with his legs has been absurd there in the Big 12, just rolling through opposing defenses. So I think he's deservedly so. He's put himself back in the Heisman conversation.
He's very much in the Heisman conversation. He's adding the positive plays, avoiding the negative plays, and like you said, the run value, #1 rush grade among quarterbacks this year. Let's go to the best at avoiding mistakes for quarterbacks. And I couldn't believe the name when I saw it. It's Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, the true freshman. He only has 3 turnover-worthy plays so far this year. Again, we're putting the context into this thing. Forget interceptions. It's those passes that should be interception. Trevor Lawrence only has 3 of them. That's absurd for a true freshman.
It shouldn't be possible. I mean, truthfully, as a true freshman, a guy who was playing against high schoolers, a guy who was playing against maybe like 14, 15-year-olds last year, now playing against 21, 22-year-olds, not making mistakes with the football, actual defenses getting thrown at them and carving them up just the same. We've never seen anything like it.
And it's not like it's just a conservative dink and dunk attack. At Clemson, Trevor Lawrence is throwing the ball down the field quite a bit. Let's go to the best deep ball wide receiver. It's one of our favorite wide receivers over here at PFF, Andy Isabella from UMass. The guy's got speed, he has quickness, but he has been absolutely fantastic catching the ball down the field.
14 deep catches, 705 yards on those deep receptions. And you might think, oh, he's a slot receiver, he's 5'9", he's probably running this, dink and dunk route tree. No, he's blazing some safeties down the field. He's got some real deal speed.
Andy Isabella currently in the final 3 for the Biletnikoff Award for the best receiver in the nation. Let's go to the toughest running back to tackle. If you guys have been following PFF, you know it's David Montgomery from Iowa State. Last year set the record for most missed tackles forced when you combine what he did on the ground and as a receiver, and he's at it again this year. The guy just has incredible balance to have defenders bounce off of him.
Yeah, whether it's whether it's him as a runner or as a receiver, it just seems like if you get him in space even a little bit, the guy's not going to bring him down. He's fantastic. Again, leading all the NCAA in terms of broken tackle rate when he touches the ball. He is just I don't know how he does it. He's not exceptionally fast, not exceptionally powerful, but his balance is as good as it gets.
Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Another guy that we've been talking about quite a bit this year, Quinnen Williams from Alabama. He is our best defensive player, best overall grade, the interior defensive lineman who has just emerged as the most disruptive defensive player in the entire country.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the best interior pass rushing grade of any defensive lineman, it's Quinnen Williams, the best interior run stopping grade of any defensive lineman. Well, it's Quinnen Williams as well. He's just done it all, and he plays basically up and down that Alabama front, can play nose tackle, can play 5 technique over an offensive tackle, and he still gets the job done. There's really not a lot of holes to poke in his game at this point.
Let's get into some more of the specifics. The best bull rush in the nation. We're giving it to Zach Allen from Boston College. He's a little banged up, but 6'5", 285-pound defensive end. Looks like an interior player, but playing on the edge at BC.
There's not a lot of tackles in the country used to seeing a guy line up like that. The new thing in college football is get your edge guys to be these sort of hybrids, 230 pounds, running around these offensive tackles. Allen's kind of the exact opposite. He wants to play right through the chest of an offensive tackle, and well, he's got the strength, the technique to do it, and he does so pretty regularly.
Our best ball hawk, we've calculated this by saying, look, every time you target this guy, does he break up the pass? Does he force an incompletion or pick it off? It's DeAndre Baker from Georgia. Hasn't been targeted a whole lot because he's been sitting there as our top graded corner for the majority of the season, but when he is targeted, great feel for getting his hands on the ball, breaking up passes.
Yeah, 38 targets so far in the season, 13 of those he's gotten his hands on. Pretty ridiculous rate there. Big physical cornerback, gets his hands on wide receivers, does not allow much separation, and that's why he's the biggest ball hawk.
And he can do it in press coverage, he can do it in off coverage, great feel for the game. Let's wrap it up with the best deep safety, and when I saw this name, Deontay Thompson from Alabama, I just want to call him the best all-around safety, which I think he is so far this year because he really can make plays all over the place, but I really do enjoy watching a good deep safety who has range, and that's what Thompson has shown this year.
Yeah, targeted 30 times so far this season, only allowed 14 catches. That in itself is pretty good, but then he's also made some highlight reel plays in other guys' coverage, making up for other guys' deficiencies, running from that deep middle, going sideline to sideline. Like you mentioned, he is a very complete safety.
And he had about a season's worth of highlights in just the first 3 weeks, making plays in that deep safety role. If you guys want to see the entire breakdown, it's over at ESPN Plus or at ProFootballFocus.com. That is your best players at everything in college football.